do it for the views.
For the swabbles.
We all the day, we all the day, we all. At some point, we'll talk about that.
I just keep thinking about when Jack Black like starts singing gibberish in tribute.
That you don't understand. That's a really good part.
It's the only part I can pronounce.
Did you know? This is gonna go over, so we gotta cut this into short territory. The demon who, the devil, is Dave Grohl.
Yeah, Dave Grohl from the drummer from Nirvana and the singer from what's that band called? Foo Fighters.
Yeah. Ben Stiller's in the video for tribute. And the chick who...
Ben Stiller. Gotcha.
Now, do you remember the movie with Ben Stiller, Duplex, where Ben Stiller lived below an old lady?
Oh, who was, like, annoying or something?
Yeah.
And they wanted to kick her out?
They wanted to kill her. In the movie, they wanted to kill her. Towards the end. And then she pretended to die, and then they moved out, and she was like, we got another sucker, you know. She was the old lady at the end, laughing. So, like, for such a cheap video for Tenacious D...
You know what, though? From what I've heard, Jack Black is friends with a lot of different people.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I know it's weird, but he's got his own YouTube channel,
Yeah.
and he does a bunch of weird stuff. And I thought it was kind of cool that he was, an actor and then kind of broke into the music industry. Most people kind of go the other way around.
I guess, but I think he's probably done music his entire life. Just didn't get serious of trying to...
Oh, yeah, probably fooled around with it.
But I would be very disappointed in life if I found out that, like, Jack Black was a jerk. Like, if he's not a good person, I don't want to live anymore.
I could see that.
I was watching, like I said, I was watching clips from Tenacious D, and I was just like, yeah, two bros trying to make a name for themselves, trying to pay their rent with their passion.
I just keep thinking about the knee slide, like the painfully slow under the door.
Just some of the lyrics, like if you actually listen to the lyrics, they're doing the in the movie they're doing the duel with the devil, and they're like, we've been through a lot of shit, deactivated lasers with my dick. But that's it, everybody. I'm gonna make comparisons of Tenacious D versus the D-Pad Dynamos later. How we are the broke ass YouTubers. we are the broke ass band of YouTube.
I like how in the beginning of tribute, like the video, he goes, "Oh, you gotta pick predetermined songs," and he pulls out like wire cutters and he starts like ripping shit out.
A little bit of studio engineering. Okay, that's it. That might be a little short video. Who knows? On this creepy ass game.
Well, either way, we could always. Well, I'm sure we got B-roll somewhere of us doing something stupid.
No problem. Once again, like, comment, subscribe. Hit that share button. Send it out to your buddies.
Remember, it is spooky month. Spooky month, all month. For you spooky bitches. Spooky bitches.
Did you? I said some... I know we gotta cut it, but at some point... I think it was the Twitter post. I was like, October spooky, scary extravaganza with blueberries. But, alright everybody. You know all that YouTube stuff. Have a good one. Take it easy. Be good to one another. Anything? Good?
Nobody wants apples while they're trick-or-treating.
People love rotisserie chickens, though.
Oh, that's a thing. Yo! Was it you that we went trick-or-treating with? That, like, at the end of the night, like, we were walking home because we had moved farther away from home. And then, like, all the lights were off. Everyone's kind of went to bed. And there was, like, one drunk dad, like, grilling hot dogs out front.
No.
Like, dude, it was, I think it might have been, like, me and Greg or something, or somebody. And, like, he was straight grilling hot dogs. And, you know, we kind of walk over like trick or treat, and he goes, "Bro, I'm out of candy. You want a hot dog or something?" And like, so me and Greg are walking down the street, bags full of candy, eating a hot dog, drinking a soda, because he's like, "Well, you can't have a hot dog without a drink. Here's Cokes, man." So like, completely hammered Navy guy, just giving out fucking hot dogs.
No, that was not me. I would have remembered that.
That was awesome.
I gotta cut that into its own little story. That's good. I like that. Wholesome. Oh, but if you're giving out drugs for Halloween, because no one ever does that, not one person's ever done that. Like, they warn you, well, watch out for drugs. Like, who's giving out drugs? So if you're giving out drugs, hit me up on Twitter. Let me know. I will come to you.
I will take all the drugs. Was in that Snickers bar. Well, that was acid, but
good. No, like, I got gummy bears. Like, where did you get gummy bears? You know how much them bitches cost? Like, at a minimum, $10 to $15.
Oh, what is it? I can't remember who that asked, but what is it? What's the medical one? CBD.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the CBD one. That shit was like $15 for
That's what I'm saying.
Well, I mean, it wasn't a small gummy bear. I mean, it was probably about 2 inches long, about 6 inches long. It was about 2 inches long, about, you know, inch wide, give or take a little bit, and it was, you know, it was a fucking gummy bear.
No, but
it was like $15.
But they're saying like you're giving out drugs for Halloween. It's like, you know those. You go to the store, you buy a box of the fruit gummies, and then you get the little pack and you pull it out, and there's like 6 little gummies in there.
Yeah,
that's THC candy. $15,
Jesus
$20.
Christ.
I mean, you get a decent price for the cookies. Like, you get a decent cookie, but it's a cookie. It's a brownie. It's a decent brownie square, though.
But I mean, you're still. I mean, okay, so who's gonna give out pieces of brownies for Halloween?
No.
Who's gonna give out one gummy bear? And on top of that, I don't believe they're individually wrapped.
No.
Now, again, I don't partake, but they're not individually wrapped. If your kid did get a one random gummy bear, I'm pretty sure you look at it and go, no, trash. Now, I do believe in checking
I do
kids.
think they have, like, individual wrapped Jolly Rancher looking candies, the hard candies. Which, if you got them, let me know. So, oh man, I am so getting shut down from YouTube. I'm joking, people. I'm joking. I'm not joking. But
we need to Christopher Mayfield's to come out. We need that hookup, man.
But they got.
I'm talking about the pushing, man.
But they got big bags of gummies, where they're little wafer gummies, like little the orange slice things. They got those, and I think you need like medical cards to get them. But those are like $25, $30. But at least you get a few.
But nobody's going to give them out.
No.
Especially,
No.
well, I know state to state, obviously laws differ, so on and so forth. But nobody's giving them out.
No one has that much money to throw away on kids.
And if they
high.
do, you know what I mean? I doubt, like, I don't know. I heard a couple stories years back about, like, one crazy person that was putting needles in Snickers bars. Like, you know, them real thin sewing needles that you use to, like, you pin something in place so you can sew through it, then pull the needle out. He pushed them into a bunch of, like, Snickers bar and candy bars, and that was one sick dude. And he only did 2 of them. You see what I'm saying? So there is that possibility. You should always check your kids' candy. But I doubt that, and I feel like a lot of parents use that shit to go through and see what their kids got so they know to take later.
But then again, like, it's kind of weird because as an older person now, like, I like the candies that I didn't like as a kid. Like, I never got all excited for like a what's the coconut chocolate one?
There's like 8 of them.
The one with the almonds.
Almond Joy?
Yeah.
I'm all about Almond Joy.
With the coconut dough.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Coconut chocolate and almond Joy.
I never liked that when I was a kid.
You know which ones I actually liked as a kid? Them weird, they were like peanut butter ones. They come in black and orange wrappers.
The Take 5?
No. It's just think of like a piece of orange wax paper with a circle in it, and they're twisted.
Yeah.
Oh, I love them things.
They're okay. Every once in a while, like, I don't know exactly where you get them, But I know there's I know there's a one that's Halloween, and then I know that there's one for the rest of the year, and the one that's for the rest of the year is off-brand and has a waxy taste to it.
Oh yeah.
But the ones you specifically get in the weird value pack for Halloween, those are dope. And then like
you know what though, it was
I never wanted like a what is it, $100,000, $1,000,
100 grand.
Yeah, I didn't want $100,000 when I was a kid.
They're pretty solid. I like them.
Solid.
You know what I kind of felt bad about though? Like, you know those little fruit chew candies? They're almost a little bit too hard to chew when you first put them in your mouth, but once once the spit hits them for like 5 seconds, they become real chewy and gummy.
Like Now-Laters?
No, not as... They're smaller. They come in like white, it'll be like white with like green on it, and it'll have like a green apple.
Oh, yeah.
And then, yeah.
Dude, they got some little bags of that for, you get like 10 or so, or like 10 or 15 of them for $1 at the gas station near my job.
Like, these things were like... I bought them from the dollar store.
Yeah.
Because I closed Halloween night and didn't have time. I didn't even think about Halloween until, like, halfway through my shift after 9 people had told me Happy Halloween. Like, the 10th one was like, Happy Halloween! And I'm like, fuck, that's today! So, I had to be outside working on something after work.
Mm-hmm.
I think I got out at like 6. So I ran next door, grabbed candy, and that was like all they had. Right, so I grabbed some of that, and I grabbed some other stuff, and just kind of mixed it together in a bowl, and I was outside working on stuff. So my thought was, if kids roll up, I'm out here, I've got a bowl of candy, I'm good. So I'm outside playing with the carburetor, and this and that, and whatever else, and, Chelsea comes outside, and we're all hanging out, and I was like, hey, can you hang out here, just so I don't have fuel on my hands touching candy, giving it to kids, right? So we end up standing out there until like 9 o'clock.
Good hand.
No, there were no good hands. They were all gas hands.
Let me grab it with my toes, put it in your bag.
Yeah. So like one kid came up, and Chelsea like straight scooped the candy. You know what I mean? Not like, here's a piece for you. It was like halfway through the night, we got one trick or treater who, like, you know how our area is. It's not lit in our little cul-de-sac area. So Chelsea just loaded this kid up with this cheap ass candy, and then proceeds. The kid like is fucking beside himself, right? He runs down the driveway, all excited, and he give the mom a wave, hey lady, whatever. And then I saw no other kids, and like the neighbors' kids came home, and like they had the lady lived there before. I won't say names, but she had what? Fucking 4 kids?
I guess not. I don't know.
Who babysat and had like 14 kids over there all the time?
There's always kids over there. That house just collects kids. It never lets them go. I'm not going in there.
But either way, fucking swastika baby. But either way, her kids come home. She's got 3 of them. So I was like, you know what? I don't want them. I'm not gonna eat them. So I was like, open your bags. He just like dumped this entire bag, and Chelsea's laughing because she's joking me the whole time because they got the fucking cheap candy, and I'm like they don't give a fucking sugar and sweet. They're gonna load them into their face and call it a day. But it was just, I don't know. It was one Halloween. That was the same Halloween I was mowed a kid down on my motorcycle.
Yeah,
like he was dressed as like a SWAT guy. What color does SWAT?
Oh, that's all black.
All black. And he ran across the street down where, like, the 2 buses used to park. So it's, like, extra black. So he just, like, books it. And, like, I slammed the brakes. And he kind of looked at me. Like, really? Like, so I shut the bike off so it was quiet. So I could yell at him. Like, yo, dickhead. Like, it was a person. Dickhead. If you're going to run out of the street, pick somewhere where there's a light. And he's like, what? I'm like, you're in all black in a black-ass street. Fucking dickhead. The fucking went home.
It's always great when you get it, not necessarily an argument, but yell at somebody, and you're in the right, so you just kind of get to the end of your statement, and you're just like, now go, be gone. And they're just like, you're like, no, keep on walking.
I've already won this argument by...
They take a few steps, they look back like,
nope.
Shoo.
Nope. Though, my favorite is when you hit somebody with so much, like your logic is so flawless, and you hit them with it so hard, they stop and look at you. Yeah. They don't even have a comeback. Guy comes into my job, trying to return a headlight. I looked this man dead in... he came in with his wife. I looked them both dead in the face.
Wait. You looked them into the windows of
in
the
the
soul?
windows of their soul, and I said, if you open this motherfucker, there's no bringing it back. There's no... And my exact words are, there are no refunds, no givesies, backsies, no redos, no anything. It's yours. If you open it, it's yours. And so the guy starts and, I know it's right, blah, 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 this and that. He leaves. He comes back like a couple hours later. Of course the fuck bulb's open. But he's ripped it in a way so that the cover, them cardboard backs, how they'll rip, and still have the white on the back of them.
Yeah.
So it's not open, the bulb, you can't get to the bulb, but it's still ripped. And he goes, but it's not open. So I proceed to look at him and go, my guy. I said, I'm going to need your honesty here. And don't lie to me, because I know it's not going to work on me, you lying to yourself. I said, if I handed that to you half an hour ago and said, here's your bulb, would you buy it? Well, I said, my dude, don't lie to me, because you ain't lying to me, you're lying to yourself. Would you have bought it?
But that's kind of a loaded question, too, because if you went, this is the only one I have. This is the only one I have. It's messed up, but it's right. It's the one you need, but it's the only one I have. But it looks like this. But it works. But the
He'd went
looks
right
like
down
this.
to the next store. I know the dude. He'd went right down to the next store because he did it 2 weeks ago. He did it 2 weeks prior.
I'm just talking about myself. Like, if the packaging is broken, it's the only one you got, but I know it's still in working order, I'm going to take it. I don't care about the packaging. But if you have a fresh-looking one, well, why can't I get the one next to it?
Because I got to sell that one first because it looks like shit.
I don't think so, Scooter. I need the good one. So, he said, yeah, he was like, yeah,
he just looked at me. I'm like, homie, it's the right bulb for your truck. You pulled the wrong bulb. But I'm not taking that back. I said, you need to go outside. You need to figure something else out. And he just kind of hit me with that. Because he had bought, what the hell was it? A starter solenoid for like a lawnmower or a Ford. One of them round ones with the two terminals.
And you still got the headphones on. You're ready to go for a video too. Let's do this.
No, I'm not. They're keeping my ears warm. But he had bought something like that, and I was just like, yeah, no.
I know, you're going to go to your room. You're going to sit down. Me, I'm going outside.
Good. Merry Christmas. Actually, I'm going to go downstairs to fucking tea. I've been thinking about that shit at noon.
I was just saying, like, get the heart palpitating. Going to step outside into the darkness. Ain't no light. Woods behind the house.
You want to take that, like, 1,000 lumen flashlight I got out there?
Yeah, I'll be fine.
Fucking daylight in that bitch.
I screwed myself the other day, man. I was listening to, like, a 3-hour creepypasta compilation video. And I'm talking, like, this was a good one. Like, my mind started paranoid myself. I was like, man, that sounds plausible. And then I stepped outside. I didn't know what time it was. Like, when I started, it was only, I think it was like 6 or 7. You know?
Oh, probably 4:35. So the sun was still nice and bright. You come inside, you start your little, creepypasta. Then an hour later, it's dark 30 out.
Yeah. I did it recently, and then I did it last year. Because I came across that it's like a 5-hour creepypasta for the story entitled "I worked as a ranger."
Oh, where they kept finding the bodies in the woods.
Yeah, with the stairs. You read the one with the stairs that led to nowhere?
Oh, in the middle of the woods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stairs going to nowhere. Like,
and then the girl ranger came up missing. Ain't nobody heard from her since.
No, the girl ranger was found. She went to go take a leak and somehow went missing for like 10 days. But in her mind,
her boyfriend went missing or something, or boyfriend died?
No, like she was a new recruit. She was like, I want to step away from all these men so I can go pop a squad. And then next thing she knows, she's like, where am I? Jeff.
My name's Jeff.
They found her like 10 days later, 10 miles over.
Damn.
Little, like, perfect fun. She's like, I've only been gone for 30 minutes. It's like, Wanda, we ain't seen you since last Tuesday. No, the one that got me was when they started seeing the weird faceless creature.
The bat?
No, they're...
granted, there's hundreds of these things, but...
Yeah, it's all the same... See, this one's all the same story. It's like a ranger giving his... Like, I've been doing this job for a long time. Here's all the weird shit that happened on the job, and then they started about seeing a really tall, faceless dude. And he was like, there was one story from a guy who was like painting the side of a house at like at the, I guess the officers area, and the dude came up and was like, "Hey, you know where this is?" And he's like, "Yeah, man, it's right down that road right there." He's like, "Well, can you give me a ride?" And the dude's just painting, like, no, I'm a little busy, bro. Just right down that way. He's like, "Seriously, can you give me a ride?" And when he turns back, the dude ain't got no face, so he takes off running. Like, that one got to me a little bit. I was like, because if he wanted to attack, his back was turned.
Facts. There was one that kind of got me, though. It was, what the hell was it? The one, I've always said the trick to a good lie or a good story is a kernel of truth.
Oh, yeah.
That them 3 points, that 3 kernels and 3 breadcrumbs of truth that make the story 10 times scarier. And the one, it only had 1 kernel, but it was a damn good one. And the guy was telling about how one of the guys up the street had they thought he owned a condemned house that he was redoing, because they see him pull in with a truck and move some boxes in and move some boxes out and this and that. And come Halloween, well, apparently like lit up the front porch really well and this and that, and they go through the house and it's all there's there's like blood in the bathtub and there's blood on the walls and there's spider webs everywhere.
Oh shit!
And then they get to the fucking garage and there's 2 bodies hanging on the inside of the garage.
And they're like, and prosthetics.
And they're like, oh my god, they look so real. And then one of the women walked up and touched it, and then immediately grabbed the kids and ran out the front door and called the police. And the guy linked a newspaper article of the guy who was arrested at the property. Everything turned out to be fucking real. Oh. You know what I mean? And it was the article. There was an article from a newspaper that he had linked, like the headline of that article. And that's what got me, because it wasn't, how do you know if the faceless guy is true? Now there was a story, well, but that had that headline that made it, now it's true, now you know. Mm-hmm. But for instance, there was a story of kids would always say, "Oh, don't go out after dark," or "Don't be out after 10. That's when the goblin will get you," or "That's when the and I can't remember, I think they called him Faceless or something.
No, I think that one in particular was about a dude dragging a hammer down the road.
No, because there was one where they said don't, and I'm sure there's always legends. Every neighborhood has a legend.
For every one idea, there's like 10 stories. I got you.
Fucking Jimmy Cratmer died like 67 times. Come on.
Look at Division. How many times they get what's his name? Alex?
They got all the Alexes. But so the one they kept saying, the one kid was like, growing up I always heard the stories about such and such. He gets all the bad kids and he's his face is just distorted. Think if you just warped someone's face and then that was them.
Yeah,
walking around. It's fucking horrifying. Yeah. So the kid was like, look, what if you saw that, this was the guy who's going to get all the bad kids that sneak out and this and that. And, hitting 16, 17, 18, he got a job. It just happened to be after school. So he was walking home 10, 11 o'clock at night. And one day he's walking down and his phone died or something. He was trying to figure out what time it was or something. And he walks up to a guy. He goes, "Excuse me, do you have time?" As the guy turns around, he's horribly disfigured. To the point of it looks like the man is...
that is a real dude. That is a real dude.
Yeah, he was he worked on something, and there was a chemical explosion, and during the early stages of reconstructive surgery, it wasn't as refined as it is today. So he had no nose. One of his eyes was actually lower than the other, and his mouth was moved over where they had sewn it and tried to redo it. And it's a real person, mm-hmm. And it's I hate to say it, I think he died. I think it's an older story, but he had, he was disfigured because of an accident, and somebody had actually seen him, and that's where the rumors started. And that's what I kind of felt was really cool about that story. It's a real story based off of a real person, but obviously a kid's imagination had ran wild. How many times have, I don't know, you see the weird creepy house down the street that, I saw somebody in there once wearing all white.
Oh man, we had that abandoned house in that old neighborhood right next to the church for years.
Which one?
Over in Norfolk. The one right at the edge of the church property.
The red, was it red?
No, white.
Oh yeah, where the windows were all boarded up and shit?
Yeah.
Yeah. But you know what I'm saying? That in reality it was probably just a house that somebody had foreclosed on.
Well, so many people have broken in, myself included, that there was shit tracked all through there.
But that's what I'm saying. You hear the stories about that house. Oh, it's haunted. Oh, it's this. Do you remember Backpacks River? There was a power plant that everyone said people died in and shit. Yeah. Oh, there was a kid in there. He never came back. You know, one time that door was open and the lights were on and it only went like 2 stories down. Like, it was still an active power plant. Yeah. Like, it was the substation. And, like, I saw people go in and work and then leave. It was just a normal substation. But because every time somebody got the door open or somebody left it unlocked, it was all dark. And you could only see 3 feet into the building, and none of us were old enough to have a flashlight.
I know. And I did walk into that door and look down. And because it was dark, it looked so far down.
That's what I'm saying. I remember throwing a rock and not hearing anything. But the reason I didn't hear anything is because it felt like 10 feet and then stopped. You know what I mean? Like, and that's what I love about that whole, oh, don't go there, Mr. Jensen's, Schmitty Werber Jägerman Jensen's soul haunts that building.
You know what was the most dangerous thing about that place? The fact that we would jump from the ledge to the awning over the door.
The ledge to the awning?
Remember the power plant, right?
Yep.
The door with the steps, the iron steps, was on the far end. But if you turn the corner and you're on the side with the road, you had another door with with an awning over top of it. But over that, where the ground was, there was a little ledge, like a little half wall type deal, and you could walk along the top of that and then jump onto the little awning.
I vaguely remember that. It's been years, man.
But that was probably the most dangerous thing, because we would the gap, like the jump was boom, or at least in my mind it was boom, because I was always like, I'm not gonna make this bitch, but I made it.
Well, then again, your mind distorts things over time, so it was probably a 2-foot gap. You know what I mean? If not less.
Maybe.
Look at Louis C.K. Louis C.K. was talking about it.
I short, stubby legs and a big head.
Like George Lopez. just your adult head on your child body.
Exactly.
But what was that? Louis C.K. was talking about it. He was like, yeah, he was talking to a friend about, people in the neighborhood, and he goes, yeah, and then there was Mr. Johnson. Yeah, that gay guy. Yeah, he was trying to fuck me. Like, what? Oh my God! Did he ever touch you? Well, no. Well, did he ever invite you into his house? No. He never did anything like that. But he was trying to fuck me. What do you? Wait. So he never touched you? He never invited you? He never did anything? No. And then an hour after talking, it just come out that it was just a gay guy. Like, he wasn't really trying to fuck Louis. That was the whole thing. Your mind distorts shit like that all the time.
Yeah, I can't wait for just based on the type of thing that is. I can't wait for the new episode of F's Family. Because I was thinking about the old Jewish dude down the road who has the camp numbers, but they're like, he's a Nazi.
Jesus Christ!
Oh, hello! I can't even do it. But he's just like, hello. He's like, get away from me! That show gets wild. Oh, but
here's my jacket. Don't fucking burn it. This is fucking great.
Oh, I think that's it. Like, now I gotta find something to put this over. This great story.
You better get some of that homework. You better get at least half of that homework was done, or I'm gonna put you through that fucking wall. We're outside, idiot. There are no walls. Then I'll build a wall and I'll fucking put you through it. I could start building walls today and not stop for 10,000 years and still not have enough walls to fucking put you through. I like when he was angry mumbling on the phone. Like, he just fucking leaves. Get back in your room and put you through the fucking wall.
I have no idea how much I relate to that goddamn show. I have no idea how much you fucking relate to that goddamn show. Sketchy ass neighborhood kids.
He almost drowned when he was younger, jackass.
Daddy Wawa.
That was so fucked up, but it was too funny. Oh my god.
Alright guys, so when you hear this audio, it'll be over another video that we have. God, how...
You're gonna have to cut some of that shit out.
It's 1:30 in the morning. We got an extra 45 minutes of...
Talking.
Okay, like, comment, subscribe. Bye everybody.
Bye.